Just a heads up, in this episode we're going to be talking about sexual health. If this is the kind of thing that's going to make you feel upset or offended, maybe give this episode a miss and come back for the next one. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy the show. Do you want to come with us on an adventure? We're going to Leeds. We're going in search of a 13th century forge. We're going to witness knights in battle. We're even going to see a 100-year-old condom. Are you ready? Let's go.
We're on the road to heaven knows and feeling groovy. Those city lights and pretty sights, they're bound to move me. It's just 69 cities. It's just 69 cities. It's just 69 cities till I get home.
I've spent the last 6 months building a van conversion with the intention to travel to, explore and play a gig in all 69 UK cities. This series is going to be about bringing you those adventures and beautiful music of undiscovered musicians all over Britain through a series of YouTube videos. I've no idea how it's going to turn out, but I know it's going to be a wild ride. So buckle up, let's go. It's 6 AM in Bramley Park, Leeds. I've had 5 hours sleep, but my body does not want to sleep, so 5 hours it is. We've got an hour before sunrise, but this is my view this morning. Good morning, Bramley Park. That's what I'm waking up to. I had this huge bacon craving this morning, and I don't normally eat bacon, but no, my body needed something. I got this stuff, it's meant to be ethically done. I also bought this sauce. This sauce is the best sauce money can buy, and I can really recommend it. So I'm going to try and make the best bacon sandwich ever. I can. I've just got to show you how beautiful this street is. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Here we are, Bramley Park. We're chasing canal looks, a beautiful canal, and a beautiful sunrise.
Unfortunately, I got my parks mixed up and this wasn't the right park at all. We need Bramley Fall Park, that's where we're going.
Let's go. So this is sunrise at Bramley Woods Park, and I've just caught my first glimpse of the canal.
The canal we can see right now is the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, which they started building in 1770 and it didn't get finished till 1816.
So from up here you can just about see the network of old locks, and it is really beautiful.
These locks are Kirkstall locks and they're 200 years old. Yet they're still working absolutely perfectly thanks to the Canals and Rivers Trust.
Got the water flowing back out here. Got this whole massive row of 4 lock gates.
Locks are a series of underwater gates which allow boats on a canal to go up or downhill, with each lock providing a change in the level of water. It's a pretty convoluted system, but it requires no electricity, and it's the only way you'll ever get a boat up or downhill.
I wonder what that fascinating building used to be over the railway. You can see there's like an archway over here.
I absolutely love an abandoned building, and I think that this is the remnants of Kirkstall Forge. So later on I'm going to go and try and find this and see if I can explore this abandoned building.
Lots of my interests converging. So this here that I'm sitting on is a canal lock. And what it's designed to do is it's designed to take boats from a higher level of water to a lower level of water.
To use a lock, you need a metal handle called a windlass. You turn this handle to raise some paddles, which let water run out of the gate and the water level lower. Lowering the paddles, the water level will rise again. You park your boat in between the 2 gates, and depending which direction you're going, manipulate the water height accordingly.
Here you've got 2 little stone pieces so that when you're opening the lock gate, you use these 2 stones to push against this beam. That's how you push those giant gates through the water. You gotta be strong to do it.
On the Leeds-Liverpool Canal there's 91 different lock gates, but in England and Wales there's 1,800 locks across 2,000 miles of canal, and they're all looked after and maintained by the Canal and Rivers Trust.
While I was searching for my abandoned building, I decided to stop by Kirkstall Abbey, an 800-year-old Cistercian monastery and one of the best preserved remaining. The monks from this monastery also built the forge, which we're currently in search for. Let's see if we can find it.
I downloaded Google Maps for satellite view. We're somewhere over here. We need to be all the way over here for our abandoned building. Let's see if we get any success.
Okay, so I just found the entrance to the road to the building that I was really interested in from across the canal. And I turned into this road, and unfortunately it's gated. It's a private road, but it's a development. But it says it's called Kirkstall Forge. So at least I know. Unfortunately, a rather angry looking lady came to the gate when I pulled in. So yeah, there's definitely some mean security on that place. So I couldn't get you any closer pictures, but I am going to just try and poke my lens over the wall and see if I can get anything.
I was hoping this lovely little GPO box could give me a boost over the walls so that I could get into Kirkstall Forge and have a look around, but unfortunately the drop on the other side was far too steep. However, I did get these pictures by sticking my camera over the wall, so it was kind of worth it. Luckily, there's a ton of great info on the Forge online, including a full lecture on its history on the Leeds Civic Trust YouTube. It let me establish that the building we saw was the Forge, and it looks truly incredible inside. The Forge itself dates back to 1200 AD, and what we saw looks really old and full of original equipment. The Forge itself is being transformed into a 1,050 home housing development, and sadly in the process the majority of the Forge is already gone. It seems like it's just the most historic buildings remaining. The people giving the lectures promised that this remaining building will be preserved, including this amazing railway crane. However, the lecture is being given by the developers themselves, so we should wait for the results on this. Let's hope the developers sensitively restore this historic building so we can all come back and see it in person.
Okay, so I'm here at the Thackeray Museum of Medicine, and I am looking dog tired. I'm looking really, really rough. Not a lot I can do about that though. So I'm going to go and I'm going to explore this Museum of Medicine, which is £11.50 entry. It's quite expensive, but I've got a sneaking suspicion it's going to be a good one.
And the building is absolutely gorgeous.
Remarkably, the first part of the exhibition was the recreation of an 1840s Victorian street.
Walk this way, ladies and gents, and see for yourselves how many dangers to health you can spot. If you get more than 10, perhaps you'll get a free drink in Black Dog.
Give over, you daft beggar.
Sheep's feet, hot and fresh.
Look at the butcher's face, he looks like he's enjoying a bit too much. So these are some cotton spools from the cotton mills of Leeds, and that's what it was like for a lady who was
What's to do? It's poor Anna.
running it
Got
through.
thrown into the Carden engine. Her legs ripped to shreds.
Oh
All
god.
the bloody bones showing and all.
I mean,
These engines, they're the very devil. We're none of us safe. Mind yourself, Nettie. Might be you next if you don't keep your wits about
Claire
it.
Freeman, you leave the young ones alone, will you? You're a fit to dear. Back to work, more for you. Master wants that order ready yesterday.
So this is a very early operating table. And an amputation kit. Looks pretty grisly to me. Trepanning set. Trepanning was the process of making holes in people's skulls for the purpose of various medical treatments. It's a high pressure steam disinfector for mattresses and bedclothes and things. Let's just take a second to look at this beautiful building. Stunning, check out this ceiling. Wow. Don't make hospitals like that anymore, do they? Leeches. Check out these Delftware drug jars. And a flying crocodile. It's an iron lung for babies. And an iron lung for grown-ups. Check out this vintage condom. That is super cool. Dementisti original tested. I wonder how they test it.
This exhibit made me feel very happy to be alive in the age of contraceptive abundance.
This is cool. We've got more unusual condoms. Preventive Silver, approved by the Family Planning Association. New form extra safe. Elevator, I wonder what that does. That's an early pill. So that's definitely an early oral contraceptive. Pack of 3. And a magneto machine. I'm so happy. We actually have one of these at home, but it's in much worse condition. And when we were kids, we used to electric shock each other with it. You turn the handle, creates an electric current, then it zaps whoever you want to zap. And we used it as a torture device, but back in the day it was meant to rejuvenate old people and cure rheumatism. They've even got an exhibit on the cabinet.
The other topic we want to talk about. I don't know, Amy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think simply changing. And I think that
I just wanted to share some random thoughts on the medical museum, the Thackeray Medical Museum that we just went to. First of all, I want to say the Thackeray Medical Museum was amazing, and I'm really, really glad it's there. I think they're doing an incredible job. The thing that's kind of poking me a little bit is they had this exhibition called Private Parts. It was trying to encourage people, especially kids, to not feel embarrassment around their genitals and around talking about genital health issues. But there was this really weird thing. Nowhere in this entire exhibition was a drawing or a representation of a penis or a vagina. In fact, what they were encouraging people to do was to take pictures with fruit to represent their genitals and stick them on a wall, which was cool. It was kind of interactive, but I just couldn't believe that there wasn't a picture of a penis or a vagina in this entire exhibition on Private Parts. In fact, in this photo booth with the fruit, and it said, take a picture of representing your genitals or whatever, nothing rude please, which is kind of the implication that if you do show your genitals it's rude. So like this whole exhibition that's meant to be destigmatizing your body is actually unintentionally stigmatizing your body, because there's this gaping absence of actually seeing just a penis or a vagina. Just a drawing would have been fine. In fact, in other parts of the exhibition they had these sculptures with genitals on them, you know.
Strangely, what the exhibition was, however, able to show is an interesting range of sex toys, including an old-fashioned vibrator. Vibrators were originally developed as a medical device for doctors to use on women to help them overcome hysteria. Interestingly, this quote from a doctor explains that she's not allowed to prescribe a vibrator to her patients, unlike doctors a century ago. I know one or two uptight people I'd definitely prescribe one of these to. There were some really, really great parts of this exhibition too. I really loved this wall where people could write down their own experiences of sex education. This person wasn't taught about consent at all in sex ed classes. To be honest, I can't remember being taught about it either, although perhaps it felt obvious to me at the time, so I didn't take it in. Though as an adult, I now feel that consent is the absolute most important thing to be taught in sex ed. However, many people on this wall were taught nothing about sex at all. How much trauma, pain and sadness could be avoided, and how much pleasure could be given if we just had an honest and open dialogue about sex.
I just think it's absolutely insane that we have to use fruit as a metaphor for a picture of a penis or vagina. There's nothing horrible or scary about genitals. We shouldn't be stigmatising this. My one criticism of Thackeray: you need a picture of a dick and a fanny. You just need one. I don't like to criticise, but the truth must be told.
One of the most incredible things exhibited in the museum was this chair. It was made by Tony Stevenson and it celebrates 70 years of the NHS. If you were born in the UK, you'll know we've been lucky enough to have a world-class socialised healthcare system for the past 70 years, free at the point of use for everybody. Although the last decade of Conservative government has seen the service chronically and deliberately underfunded, and healthcare staff have been underpaid and overburdened. I was moved to see this quote from NHS founder Nye Bevan. "No society can legitimately call itself civilised if a sick person is denied medical aid because of a lack of means." Before the NHS was founded, my great-aunt died as a baby because my great-grandmother owed debts to the doctor who refused to see her when her baby was sick. We must fight to protect our NHS and its staff, because the truth is, for much of our country's history, the vast majority of people lived in poverty, on the brink of starvation, with little to no access to medical care. Sadly, this is still the case across much of the world, but it doesn't have to be. Let's choose to be better. And after that, I finally made my way into the centre of Leeds. And honestly, I feel a little bit guilty that I didn't really film that much in the centre. It's clearly a beautiful and interesting city, but I had something more planned. I was meeting my friend for a Japanese lunch, a friend who I haven't seen for 5 whole years. Travelling the world as a cruise ship pianist, I got to meet some truly incredible people, but with the bargain of knowing that most of these people will likely not stay in my life, and many of them I may never have the opportunity to meet again. Some things are better left off camera, but without a doubt, this meetup was the highlight of my trip. After a well-earned sleep, I decided to nip across the river and check out the Royal Armoury, which was really nearby. Okay, so I'm here at the Royal Armouries, which is not where I expected to be. Normally weapons aren't my kind of jam, but I like the mirrors, they look very Bill and Ted. So this entire octagonal space is full of swords and shields and armour. That dude must have been proper tiny. I wonder how young these people were when they were being made to fight. Now I've got to be honest with you, weaponry doesn't really do anything for me. I didn't find it particularly exciting. The things that I thought were really cool in this museum were the dioramas and models, some of which just had a ridiculous level of detail. My horse, a kingdom for a horse. That's not what he said, was it? As much as I'm not into weapons, I have to concede, these sculptures are absolutely amazing. It's a funeral effigy. Looks like he lost a foot in battle. Give him an inch, they'll take a foot. On the recommendation of an amazing musician friend, Bethany Gibson, I headed out to the Chemic Tavern open mic night. This brilliant open mic was hosted by Rob Langley, with sound by Cameron. Here he is playing a cover of Davy Graham's Angie. If you'd like to see the full performances from these brilliant musicians, there's a link in the description to the raw footage. If musicians would like to use these performances for their own media, please feel free to rip them and use them for whatever you like. Rob did something next I never expected and it made me so happy. He played a song by the disgraced entertainer Rolf Harris. It's a really brilliant song I've always loved, and hearing Rob's performance gave it a new context in which I could enjoy it again. Thanks, Rob.
Well, the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Starts to get difficult now. Now the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Come on, sing along. Now the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus were just passing by. Now if you want to take some pictures of the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the noses on the faces of the ladies of the harem of the Codic Caractacus, you're too late! Because they've just passed by! Oh god, that was awkward. Thank you very much, everyone.
Next up, we had this beautiful original breakup song from David Cliffen.
Kyrgyzstan or Turkey, somewhere in between. Maybe we can find out what this really means. I know you said we shouldn't talk after I moved away, but I find myself thinking about you every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Pakistan or India, have you been before? I just really wanna know, could this be more? 'Cause I could really see you and me getting old. Or am I only thinking this way 'cause it's cold, 'cause it's cold. It's cold, it's cold, the weather's cold. That's it, thank you.
Joe Cohen shared with us this beautiful gentle cover of Amy Winehouse's Back to Black.
He left no time to regret, kept his deed wet, his old same safe bet. And me, and my head high, and my tears dry, on without my guy. And you went back to what you knew, so far removed, all that he'd been through. And I tread a troubled track, My odds are dead, but I'll go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I've died 100 times. You go back to her and I'll go back to. We only said goodbye with words. I've died 100 times. You go back to her and I'll go back to black. Thank you.
Next up, Chris Smith absolutely slayed it with this cover of Jimmy Rogers' blues standard That's Alright.
You told me, baby, one more time, said if I'd be yours, well, you sure be mine, oh, that's alright. See that other man, babe, but every night I begin to wonder who'll be loving you tonight. Knocked on the door, snuck round the back. Come by me running faster than a darn Cadillac. That's alright. See that other man, babe, but every night when I begin to wonder who'll be loving you tonight.
Wow, Chris, that was amazing. Next up, we've got a really incredible piece of original music called Stirred, from the beautiful voice of Mr. Lewis Cox.
Dust afloat, illuminated room settles in the absence of moving bodies, of worrying people, huffing and disturbing the weight of the air. Birds and worms and snakes and rats, inhabitants of the corners of the house, beneath the floorboards, in the vacuums, breathing and living in the gaps of our homes, confused and lost in the world, misplaced and losing touch, disillusioned and cold, worried and getting older, wondering where to go. Where will you call your
Our next performer is Mike Carrington, and he's playing what I think is an original song. I'm not 100% sure, but it's very, very beautiful.
Jealous of every cigarette you smoke, every morsel of material placed upon your body, those sticky lips wrapped around the filter tube, your clothes hugging tied to your skin. I'll never win. I'll never win.
Our next performer was an incredible songwriter going by the name HerOrangeCoat.
Suicidal tears, blank look in your eyes, nightmares out of dreams. Is this what you like? I want some consolation, consolation. Now I need an explanation how something about this is nice. And we're falling in a darkness, but I'm not falling in alone. And even if this leads to hellfire, if I'm with you it is home. And we're reaching out for meaning, but it's just too far away. And even if this isn't heaven, if I'm with you I will stay. Framing every day, casting all our time, jet encrusted frame, ebony sublime. What is the situation, babe? I look into the mirror, but I'm not the same. Time to get this off your mind. Suicidal tears, blank look in your eyes. Something about this is nice.
Next up, we had some amazing slide resonator guitar blues from Utan.
Little red rooster, too lazy to crow for days. I have a little red rooster, too lazy to crow for days.
drug him home. And no peace in the barnyard since the little red rooster been gone. Thank you.
Next up, it was time for a very sleepy me to give it a go. As the pub had a piano, I decided to play the piano song that didn't record properly in York, Babylon Express.
In the 1920s, every band had a song about a train. It was like the cool thing. I've got to admit, I love trains. I think trains are amazing. But that's not exactly something that you're going to put on your Tinder profile. So yeah, I decided I was going to write a song about trains. And in a 1920s style, and this is what I came up with. This is the Babylon line, 4:15, boarding platform now. I got my ticket and I'm feeling mighty fine. Well, I see her coming, she's running dead on time. With the finest coach that you ever did see, well, the whistle's blowing and the engine's clean, building up a good strong hitter steam. When she gets going, well, there ain't no slowing me. With electric lights in the latest style, with superb cuisine and a service smile, traveling like the best Babylon Express. Well, if you want to be in society, then the Babylon line is the place to be. Everywhere you look, you see celebrity, but you pay the price if you don't book here early. Well, it's a strange position when you're eating your dish and watching super rich lose their inhibition, but you better not tell the press, Babylon Express. So then, babe, we got Leeds on the line. We'll hold on tight, everything will be fine. Come to my compartment in the dead of night. If you're feeling scared, I will hold you tight. Oh, this decadence can be a strain on your mind, on your mind. But traveling need be stressful on the Babylon line. South Gym when the piston's bumping and the Playboy canvas is a butter and a muffin. That's where there's nothing on a Katie's dress. What a crude princess, I guess she's traveling like the best. Babylon Express. So long that she went about. Thank you very much.
Everyone's been playing the blues tonight. Oh my god, it's been gorgeous. My little slide guitar senses have been tingling.
Freya Bentley performed for us some of the most unique and interesting material I've heard on the tour so far. These songs are definitely some of my favourites and I'd love to hear more.
Painter, Irish psychiatrist, wolf on a tether, dog on a mountainside. There's a girl in the beer garden. She sings with me sometimes. We sing, we read the room, the open mic scene. Her eyes have eyes behind them. It's kind of tragic to me. We We scan the room, the other patrons stare, sort of nervously. I see no shame in thee. So we ask to dance in the concrete city. Would you inquire for me, for to dance, to free ourselves from our bodies? Ungratefully, ungraciously, no shame for thee. Let's run away with ourselves and fall in love with each other. Let's fall in love with ourselves and run away with each other. I won't wait forever. I won't wait forever. I won't wait forever. I won't wait. I am no man, she replied, as she slayed the Witch King. Thrust her shiny sword into his eyes. I am no man, she replied, as she slayed the Witch King. Thrust her shiny sword and he just died. I won't wait forever. I won't wait forever. Thank you.
Now we've got even more beautiful and unique music by Jenn Obyssia. I think this is an original song. Either way, her harmony is unorthodox and enchanting. I think the song from Max Bryant is an original song. Either way, it's really, really cool.
Drawing a collective breath, I could cry myself to death and watch this us all away. In a flash, you were gone, leaving me a couple of songs I'll listen to every day. And I don't even care that you were so unfair. I worshipped 1 time at your feet. Save and freeze up our tears, catalog all our fears, and give in to the stretching years. But that's okay, but that's okay, but that's okay. I'm not okay. Drown in my tears, succumb to my fears, get into the stretching years. But that's okay, but that's okay, but that's okay. I'm not okay, but that's okay. I'm not okay, but that's okay. I'm not okay. Woo!
Probably end up playing a new song. So I wrote this, I finished writing it today. So this song is called Dream Deprivation.
It was amazing to be the first people to hear this incredible song from Liam Ilcliffe, which he'd only just finished today.
And everyone is staring at themselves through the lens of everyone else. You feel a sense of dread when you leave your bed, deprived of all your dreams, you stay instead. We've never had it easier. Maybe that is why we struggle with the simplest things, like starting off the day and saying, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? Where you going? Surely not outside, of course not. I'ma waste away at home until I die. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Since we're heading off to Liverpool tomorrow, I couldn't resist including a little clip of Liam's incredible Beatles cover.
When I was
was younger, so much younger than today. Never needed anybody's help in any way. But now those days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now fine, changed my mind, opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. So won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
Thank you very much.
And with that draws to a close this episode of 69 Cities. Tomorrow I'll be heading off to Liverpool for another adventure. But for now, wishing you good health and happiness. I'll see you soon.